Everyone. In this video, we will learn to develop this website that you can see on your screen. Uh, like you can see, this is a very uh, like this is not attractive website because I have added a very less amount of CSS. But uh, today's video will be mainly focused on JavaScript. So we will learn to implement the features like you can see pagination. Uh, we can see like adding adding product to cart and increasing the counter in the navbar, right? And like going to the cart page and placing the order. So these are the theme of this video. So you can see I have added a very less amount of CSS just for just for making it visual or make it as separate. So first I will describe what like about the projects, and we'll see different features, and at the last we will see how I like write the code for every feature, right? So let's get started. So as you can see, this project, this website is e-commerce website. You can see, and from this website you can like place order. I mean, not you can place order here, but this website is uh, fall in that category. Like it is a e-commerce website, so you can uh, like you can see products. You can see stuff here. Like you can um, place everything like cloth and frog or some flowers, right? These are randoms items that I have taken from an API. So don't look on that. Don't think about any category. So just see as a uh, like e-commerce website purpose, right? So you can see when you come on to this website, you will land on the uh, landing page, right? So here by default there will be 10 products will be visible to you. You can see here 10 product is visible. Now there is not only 10 products available on my website. You can if you want to serve another uh, items, then you will go to this pagination. We call this pagination. So you can go to previous page, then next page, right? So according to my uh, data in my API, it will show on my website, right? If my API like if I my backend has some data, then it will show, and if not, then like this next button will be disabled, right? So right now you can see next button is not disabled. So that means I have some another data on my API. So if you click on it, so you will see in another product is uh, like replaced by the previous one, right? And you can add it to the cart. You can see there is a button here. If you click down it, like it will show alert with the title of the product and it will show a message like it is added to the cart, right? So you can click on any of the product and it will show the name, I mean the title, and it will show that it would added. So if you want to go to the next page, you can do that also. You can also do the same thing here. So I have added three products, and if you notice on my navbar, you can see a counter is also showing that there are four items in my cart, right? So this is also a very important thing. Like you don't need to go to see how many items that I have in my cart. So it will show on the main page as well, right? So uh, I have I had one product before and three product I added right now. Now you can also go to the next page. Now if you click on it, good place. Now you can see if you notice on my pagination thing this section. So you can see the next button is disabled now. That means I don't have any another products in my API. So that's why it is disabled. You cannot click on it, right? So now if you want to go to the previous page, you can do that also. You can see the previous page is enabled. You can see right now it is showing the previous data. But now if you are on the like you can see the previous button is disabled now. That's because you are on the first page, right? And that's why it is disabled, because you cannot go to the 0th page, -1 page, right? Because you can imagine -1 page doesn't exist, right? So that's one of the features. The second feature you saw is here. You can add a card, and if you look at the one card, it will show the category, it will show the name, or you can say title, the brand, the amount, right? So this is the features that you saw on the index page, or you can say home page. Now it's time to look onto the next feature, the cart page. You can click, if you click on the cart on the navbar, it will redirect you to the cart page. Now here you can see the products that you added earlier, right? So you can see there are 5 products that I have added, and the same thing, the counter is on your navbar, and the products detail is here as well. Now if you like notice on any of the card, you can see there is one more thing, more button called remove. So what it like you can uh, you have already like know what it will do. It will remove the items from your cart. So the same upper thing is like before, in the homepage we were seeing the category or the titles or the brand and the price, but one thing is changed, the buttons is now remove, like button is named as remove. So if you click on any of like if you want to remove any of the products from your cart, so you can click on that card, and that will be deleted from your cart list. So you can see there are 4 items, and the same thing is here. It is dynamic. It is getting updated here. You can if you like to remove one more, like if you want to remove this, you can click on that and that will be gone, right? So that's is the another feature. And the same thing, the navbar is showing my latest number of cart item, right? So the next and the last thing is the checkout. So checkout, if you don't know, checkout is that section or that page of the that feature of the website which show that uh, if you want to like place the order, place the items that you have added in your cart. So you go to the checkout page and you just fill the like fill the details and your order got placed, right? And you also need to like pay amount for it. But right now I have not added any payment stuff, right? But here, what you can like see here, you can place your name here, and you can like place the you can add the address, and if you click on it, it will show that Rishi Anand, your order is successful, right? And you can click on it will get placed. Not it will not be like delivered to your address, but it is like just for demo purpose. You can also like I could have removed these all the three I can say the product because I have already placed it, but let's see, we will do it uh, in this video, right? But right now, I will start from the landing page, right? So uh, this is the project, right? If you don't believe, then let me open it from scratch, right? You can see I've opened my lab server. So this is the what we can say. This is the index page, right? This is the index page, and one by one, I will describe what are these things, right? So first thing I want to go with is the navbar, right? So if you notice this portion, nav, so this is the navbar, this is the uh, tags, this is the HTML code for the navbar, right? You can see this is the parent, right? This is the parent, and in that parent, in the navbar parent, there is two child div, right? These two child div is the first home, and the second is this whole thing, right? These two uh, what we can say two element is inside the second child, right? You can see here. The first is showing the navigation link, and the second is showing the amount, right? Right now you can see there is nothing written inside Instri tag, the count, that count, because all the things are dynamic, and all the things, all the counter is like updating from the JavaScript, right? So this is the next part. Now let's see the pagination thing, the previous and the next thing, next button. So if you notice this part, let me also write here pagination. So you can see this is the parent div, the buttons is the parent div, and there is two another button inside that parent. So the first one is previous, the next one is the next button, right? There is two buttons here. And the next thing, we will see some CSS as well. But first, let's see what uh, I have in my HTML file. So the next thing is the container. The next thing is the container that is containing all my items. So I have, like here, you can see I have the only container, and all the items, all the cards that you're seeing here is from the like it is dynamic. So I have added it from the API, and all the things are in the JavaScript file. So that's pretty much of this what we can say, the index page. Let's see the some of the styles. So you can see for each of the pages I have separate file, CSS file. You can see I have added some uh, styles, some the basic styles for the navbar and the border. You can see red color, the display flex to make it in the horizontal direction. Both the child should be in the horizontal direction. If you don't put it here, it will be vertical, right? So that's why it is like these are the basic things. And justify content, you already you might even know. It will make your contents, or you can say the items uh, like in the end, and will give the space between the child's, right? So this much is the styles for uh, navbar. Now if you look at here, I have added some styles for pagination. So you can see if I give border, you can see here. So I have added some styles for pagination section as well, like border, margin, margin bottom, text line, cursor, right? These are the basic styles for the pagination parent, you can see here. And for each of the button, I have added, I think, the separate style. No, that's the default style that, and the only thing that I have did, the only thing I did is added a cursor not allowed when it is disabled, right? You can see for the each of the button, the previous button and next one, when it is disabled, then make my cursor not allowed. You can see if I don't give anything, my cursor is not changing. If I like uncomment it, it will change my cursor when I point to the disable button, right? So this is the what we can say pagination thing. And the next thing is the uh, what we can say, the container for all the cards, all the products. So this is here, you can see products containers, right? If I give border, you can easily visualize 1 pixel, solid, and red. So you will see uh, this red, the outer box, the outer border is the container for all the items. So I have added the same things. Display flex wrap. Flex wrap is added uh, because when you add any display flex, then it make all the card, all the div in the horizontal direction. You can see. But if you want to when like what we can say, like if you want to, if you don't want to make all the uh, card in the horizontal, then you give flex wrap. So what it do is it will only place a certain amount of um, cards in one row, and if it uh, goes if it overflow, then it go to the next row. So that's the job of this flex wrap. You can see, uh, and for each of the card, I have the some styles like width. You can see width is 200 pixel. For each of the box, each of the card, I have added a width of 200 pixel. So like the job this flex wrap is doing is like uh, for each of the box like 200, 400, 600. But when like you can you can take it as like if you resize, it will automatically fit your card. You can see if I resize, my browser is automatically uh, placing the card according to the uh, what we can say left space, right? If my row has some space, then it is bringing one card from the next row and placing it here, right? You can see if I increase the width of my browser, then it placing the one card from the next row, right? This is the job of flex wrap. So the next thing what I need to explain, you can see I have not added any large amount of CSS. This is the width that I have given to each of the images, right? And nothing else. So JavaScript is done. No, CSS is done. Now the next, and you can see for the cart page, I have separate styles. You can see here. It is the same as the home page. You can see navbar, the same style, right? For each item, I have, for each of the card, I have some style, right? And the border thing. This is not very complex. If you want to like go to the code, then I will place my GitHub repo of this project in the description. So you can also go and see and play with the code, right? So the next and the important thing we are going to see is the index page, index JavaScript, right? This is the main thing. So the next thing that I want to explain is the okay, homepage. We are on the homepage now. The first thing I will explain is the how I am getting the fetching the data from the API. So you can see what we can say. Let me write getting the data from our API. So if you don't know what API is that uh, what we can say that um, that software which give you data, right? You request some certain type of data, and API take that request, browse, uh, the data, if it has, and if it has that data, then it return to you. So that's what API is, right? This is the API, you can see here. So let's see what we are doing in this. So the first thing which I am doing is like requesting the data from API. You can see uh, I am using the async function. So when you request any data from API, you make your function async, right? Async, and I am doing try catch so that I can uh, like handle my error and success separately, right? In catch part, I will handle the error, and the try, I will handle the success part. So you can see I am in this line, in the seventh line, I am fetching the data from this API, and the limit I have added to the API. So you can see there are only 10 product is coming to your website, right? That's because of this limit thing. If I make it 5, then it will show only 5 of them. If I put 3, it will show 3, right? So that's the job this limit text is doing, and the page is doing which page you want to uh, bring, right? Which page you want to browse, right? So right, page 1 or page 2 or page 3, right? This is the page 1. If you click on this, this is the page 2 things. This is the page 2 data, right? This is the page 3 data. So that's the page thing, right? And let's see the next thing. After getting the data, what I am doing is taking the data from here and passing it to another function. And see, render data is another function that I have uh, added here. I have created one another function data. So this function is doing like it is taking the data from the API, and it is mapping each one of the data, right? So API is returning us 10 data. So what it is doing, it is looping through the 10 data and making it in a card form. Right, I can see here. So what I should explain the next. So you can skip this part for now. I will explain it later. So what I am doing right now. So you just notice here, I am taking the data here where we were. So we are taking the data here, right? I pass it here, and I am receiving as a parameter here, and I am mapping through the whole data. And you can see I'm mapping, I'm using map function and like designing cart for each of the data, right? You can see here. Can see I am like first creating element from through a JavaScript. First, you can see document.create element and making a div. So this div that I have created is the this each card boundary, right? The container of each boundary card, right? So this is what and this line is doing the uh, adding some attribute to each of the card, right? And the same thing you know then I'm creating an image tag, setting an attribute, creating a category, adding the text to text from the API, you can see. And the next thing which I would like to explain is the this button, right? This is the main thing. So how I am doing this? So you can see here, I this 60 line is like creating and button through JavaScript. Now button, this is adding some inner text. You can see add to cart is from this line, right? The next thing is interesting. You can see next, go to the next, another next line. So this part is doing all the job which this add cart button is doing. So what I have did is I have added a event listener to that button called click, and what I am doing is whichever item is clicked, I am taking that data and pushing it in the local storage. So if you don't know what local storage, so you can imagine like data storage uh, inside the browser. So browser gives some amount of space where you can store some amount of data. You can see here, right? So what I am doing is I am setting a key. If you don't know why I am setting the key, let me. So when you want to add any data to your local storage, first thing you need to do is setting a key. So you can see here, for each of the data you need to set a key, right? So I have added a key called card, right? And see, let me first remove everything, right? So you can see this line is from till this uh, width. This line is doing like setting on key to the local storage, not setting. First, we are getting like if any key that named card exists, then we are taking that key data. If not, then give me empty data, right? And you can see when you are coming here for the first time, there is no key set on your uh, local storage. So it will give you empty array. So what we are doing is we are pushing it in the pushing each of the not each data. We are pushing that data that we clicked in that empty array. You can see I have pushed it in the now. So I am taking the empty array and pushing that clicked items to that empty array, right? And then we are storing this uh, array in the local storage, right? This is how we set any items to local storage. So if you clicked on any of the card, you can see. Let's see this as well. So notice on my this tab. So when I click here, you will see a cart uh, will get added. You can see here. That's because that is happening. Uh, that is happening because of this line. You can see previously there was no cart key. So what it did, it the cart item become equal to empty array, right? It will remove. So right now there is no cart key. Let me open it again. So there is no cart key in my local storage. So this cart item become equal to empty array. Now this line we are pushing items to empty array, right? This thing. So now I have one, what we can say, one empty one array with the that item that I have clicked, right? And then we are storing it in the local storage. Let me add it here, right? So you can see if I click the second, it get added. So what we need to do next, and this is showing the alert. And what should I do, or what should I explain next? Okay, next thing I think I need to explain the pagination thing, right? So how this pagination is working. So you can see here by default I have one variable called page. So I am using this variable here. You can see in the API. So if I put one, it will show page one data. If I put page equal to two, it will show page two data, right? So by default, uh, I am fetching the data from page one. So let me see. So by default, we are fetching the first page data. You can see here, right? I am fetching the first page data by default, and when I am on first page, I just disabled it from, I think, let me see where I have added the style this one. So we will see that later. So we are fetching the first page data by default when we are landing on the website, and we are just rendering. So when you now when you click on next button, so what we are doing is let's go to that section. Okay, so here is the pagination code. So see, first what I did is, let's say this next button first, and then we will go to the previous, right? So what we are doing is, first we are getting the data, getting the buttons from the documents, right? Document.query selector. That's how we get any element from the HTML, right? So and then we are adding a event. Let me make it okay. So then we are adding event listener click event. And what we are doing is we are increasing the page first, right? We are increasing the page. You can see the page is one right now, but when the next button is clicked, I am increasing the page. Now page is become two, and then we are fetching the data. You can see, if you remember, this fetch API is a function that I have created up uh, which uh, which is which I am using to fetch data from the play. And this uh, page number I have like pass it as an argument. So it will be you can see this is the fetch API. So you can see this is how it is taking the argument here as a parameter. So and then it gets put here, and the page two data is fetched. After fetching the data, it calling again render data function. If you remember, this function is like rendering all the data from the API and showing it on the screen, right? So that's the job. That's the job that the next button is doing. Now, if you look at the previous button, the same thing is doing, but this time it is uh, subtracting one page from the current page, right? One from the current page number. So if it is one, let's if it is two, then it will become one first, and then fetch the data, and it will fill the data in it, and then it will show, right? So that's the thing with the previous button. Now let's see how I disable this button, right? You can see, and there is no data in my API. The next page is get disabled. So let me see where I have added this. Um, okay, is that okay? The thing is here. You can see. If you saw in my console, let me console it. What data I am getting. You can show like you can see we are on like there is total four page, and we are on first page right now because you can see here I'm on the first page, and when there is when page is one, then what I did is I get the element previous button, and then I did disable equal to true. So that's how it get disabled. If I like comment it, then see it get enabled. So that's the line of code that is disabling the line button. And if it is not page one, then what we are doing here, we are enabling it again, right? So when there is page two, page three, then enable this button, right? That's because uh, you can go to the previous page as well. So that's the job of the previous button. Then, and these lines like when page is equal to the total number of page, right? So that means there is no another page left in my AP. So you can see there is four pages. Just see here, there is four page, right? So this is the four. This whole thing is four. If page equal to four, then we are just disable the button, next button, right? Disable equal to true, and if it is not, then enable it by making it as a false. That's how this uh, disable button function is working. So the next thing, the next step is this, how I am showing this uh, counter on my neighbor. So this is very easy. So if you go here, so this is the code that is for this counter. So if you see here, what I'm doing is I have made a one function. So what it is doing, so you can see this first it getting the uh, element where we have to add the number. You can see this element I am selecting it from the JavaScript. You can see query selector, card count here. Now what I am doing is I am adding a text inside that is S3 from the local storage. You can see local storage dot get item cart. If you remember, there is one cart key inside my local storage, and we are just getting and if you remember, that was uh, uh, array array form. So I am getting the length of that array, and so it showing it here, right? If I show it on my local storage, so you can see. So what this is doing is getting the data from the local storage that has a key called cart, right? And you can see this is what we can say array, right? So we are taking the length and see there is two items inside that. So we are getting the length. If there is no cart, see here, if there is no items in my cart, so what it is showing? It is showing by default 0. You can see. So if I have the cart, if any cart has inside my local storage, then this will be your uh, what we can say the inner text of this S3. If there is no card, then it will show by default 0, right? So that's the card number. Let's see the next page called cart. Let me add on products. Let's go here. So what I am doing here, let's go to the cart and let's see this as well. Right here. So you can see for counter, like uh, the same thing is in the cart page as well. So the showing the number of item in the navbar, I am doing the same thing, making the same counter function and doing the same thing that I explained just now. The next thing is rendering the cart from the my cart list. So to do that, what I did, you can see in the second menu, I'm getting the card data from the local storage, local storage dot get item cart, and then in 13 line, I'm just making a loop and designing this cart. You can see here, I'm adding the image, I'm adding the category, the title, the brand, the price, and the next thing is the remove. So here you can see I have created one button, I have added the text and some attribute called remove, and then here I have added the function that will run if I click on it. I've added the event listener, right? And what this is doing is, uh, let me see. So if you remember, this cart item is the whole list of the items in my cart, right? You can see here I am getting it from the local storage. Let me move. Okay. So this I am what I am doing is whichever cart is clicked, I am filtering it from the whole list. Like if I click on this cart, so I am removing it and filtering this cart from the whole list of the cart, and you can see if the index of uh, where it where I was. So I'm filtering cart, whole cart, and I'm only uh, adding those cart which is not clicked. So this is how we are filtering the list. And see, So you can see it here. And then we are setting it again with the filter list of item to the local storage and running the counter function, if you remember, to update the number of items in the navbar. And that's all things that I wanted to explain. If you don't got any part of the explanation, I will add GitHub link. You can go and check each of the page one by one, and you will know what I did. So that's the thing that I wanted to describe in this video, and see you next.